Hi everyone, I'm Angelique van Zyl and welcome to my economics channel. Teacher of 11 years in economics and business studies and also lecturer at universities. So today we're going to start with the basics, which is my economic problem, my factors of production and opportunity cost. So I'm going to look at my factors of production, my resources first, in order to understand the economic problem a little bit better, I think. So let's start with what are my factors of production. So when I'm looking at my factors of production or my resource component, I'm looking at land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship also has another name, an enterprise, which could be a little bit confusing to most people because when you think of an enterprise, you're thinking firms, businesses, right? Well, in this case, we are looking at the entrepreneur, the person who takes the other three factors of production and combines them in order to generate an output which he can make a profit from. That is why he's the entrepreneur. So when we're looking at land, we're actually looking at actual land, the physical land, my minerals, all sorts of raw materials or natural resources which I can use in the production process. Common mistake is to include office buildings or buildings as part of land. That is not part of land. That will be part of my capital component, which I will explain now. So labor has to do with manual labor and also more skilled or more intellectual labor such as lawyers and doctors, people like that. Whereas my manual would be people who are orange pickers, which is a fantastic example I normally use if my students know this of me. So then we have capital. Capital has to do with more than just physical capital, machinery, equipment, things like that. In its essence, capital includes money capital as well. So money, from an accounting point of view, money invested in a business would be seen as capital. But unfortunately, in economics, we only look at the physical or the man-made capital component, which would be machinery, offices, equipment, things like that. So now we have looked at our factors of production, our resource component. Now we can move on to the economic problem. So the economic problem is that I have unlimited wants and needs, and I have to satisfy these unlimited wants and needs with my scarce or my limited resources. That's why we looked at the resources first. That was land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. Well, what about a multi-billionaire? Do they still have an economic problem? Well, yes, they do. Because what if a multi-billionaire wants to go and conquer uncharted planets? Yes, he has the money, he can pay a lot of people salaries, astronauts, the best engineers in the world, he can pay their salaries. But what if he can't physically go further because other resources are not available? Those astronauts, those engineers might not know how to proceed further. They might not have that skill yet. It's not time yet. We're still not there yet. So he can have all the money in the world. It still might not satisfy his want to go and conquer other uncharted planets. Going back to the limited part, so in your household you have a budget, correct? And you have to satisfy a lot of your wants and needs, your kids' wants and needs, whatever the case might be. But you have limited money, resources. In this case, your resources would be the money, but you can also have limited resources in terms of your time. You might not be able to do all the things, you might not be able to get to the gym as much as you would have wanted because you have other priorities, for example. So that's a limitation. So from the economic problem stems opportunity cost. I have to make a choice between which wants and needs I want to satisfy using my scarce resources. And that results in opportunity cost. I am giving something up for another. But taking it a little bit further, if I want to be technically correct, that is the definition. It's the real cost of choosing one thing and not another. So I'm expressing it in terms of money or time spent or whatever the case might be. But it has to have a real cost component. So for example, I have 150 Rand and I can either go and watch a movie or buy a burger at a takeaway restaurant. So if I choose the burger, I am giving up the movie ticket, but I'm giving up the 150 Rand which I could have spent on the movie ticket. That is opportunity cost. Next time we are going to look at PPC curves. Thank you. Bye.